on Facebook and YouTube, and we're just going to talk today about these underlying root causes of aging. And this is what functional medicine is really helping people to get healthier because we're using the evidence, the latest research, and applying it safely and effectively to get better outcomes. And we're realizing and have been really utilizing personalized, individualized nutrition and individualized plans of action for each person to help improve their health, help improve these underlying contributors to aging and, reversing chronic disease or preventing chronic disease. It starts at an early age, and it's really that's why they call it chronic, because many people don't feel the full effect of it until they're in their later parts of their life, in their 40s, 50s, 60s. But we can do anything you can to optimize these underlying root causes, these contributors to aging. This is why at South Florida Integrative Health Center, we work really hard. We're focused on individualized nutrition and individualized protocols based on all these very advanced lab tests that show and really go along with the research and the evidence of what really contributes to aging. So let's go over these contributors to aging. Number one is low grade chronic inflammation. We all know inflammation is important at some times, at some points. It creates the healing process that we need. But when it goes on too long, it is a contributor to chronic diseases. And you want to look into what is prolonging this inflammatory state. Is it coming from the gut? Is it coming from environmental toxins or these xenotoxins, estrogens in the environment, different types of heavy metals or mold? We got to look into what really is causing this low grade inflammation. And many times it's vitamin, nutrient, mineral insufficiency. And that is the next step of a contributor to not aging well, is not having optimal vitamins and nutrients. And this is something that we really focus in on, how to test for nutrient status. It's not enough to know serum levels. It's much more effective to know how the cells are using the vitamins and minerals. And that's sometimes measured differently on more advanced lab testing, not just a serum calcium, but what really is the level of calcium. There's a different test for that. And what is the real level of vitamin D? Because many of these vitamins, they increase with inflammation. So it's not a very accurate measure of the vitamin. For example, vitamin D or vitamin A, these are acute phase reactants. They go up more when there's inflammation. So to measure them more accurately requires more advanced tests. And that goes true with many vitamins such as B12 and folate. We really want to optimize our nutrients and vitamins. And that's something that we focus in here at South Florida Integrative Health Center. We're really all about preventing and reversing chronic disease. We've worked in primary care. I'm a family nurse practitioner, so I know about these diseases such as diabetes and high blood pressure and elevated cholesterol. But we want to get to the root causes so we can really reverse or prevent these chronic diseases. One of the major causes or contributors, to go to the next one, is oxidative stress. And this is where we hear about reactive oxygen species. And this is really coming from the mitochondria, which takes our oxygen and our food and turns it into energy. But the byproduct of that can be these free radicals or reactive oxygen species. You want to use advanced lab testing to see how much oxidative stress a person is under, and use at times more natural modalities, natural protocols to really bring down this low grade inflammation, to really reverse the reactive oxygen species by providing very targeted nutrients. That's really important. We've also learned, and the next contributor of aging is this liver detoxification, the CYP450 liver enzymes, which we know about drug nutrient interactions, drug herb interactions, and drug interactions, all through this liver enzyme system. But we've also learned how to improve, how to optimize the liver detoxification system through these different phases, using targeted nutrients, plants, botanicals, phytochemicals. Those are plant chemicals in plants and botanicals and herbal medicine that targets these different phases of the liver detoxification, and also certain vitamins and amino acids really help with these phases of detoxification. And this is really important to support because it's a major contributor of aging that we focus in functional medicine. The next part is gut health. We all hear about how important gut health is, and that's why we do very advanced testing on gut health, which really goes over the key research is that you need keystone species, not just lactobacillus or bifidus, other keystone species. And these keystone species produce these nutrients or metabolites such as butyrate and other nutrients, including they help to produce vitamins such as biotin and vitamin K and other B vitamins. That's how important it is to get these keystone species, not just the typical ones in probiotics, but many others that can be measured on very advanced lab testing, which we do here at South Florida Integrative Health Center. Our microbiome test is one of the most advanced out there because it's DNA PCR, and we know what we're looking for: keystone species, whether they're producing these metabolites. We want to also see if there's an overgrowth of these certain very inflammatory and nutrient robbing type of bacteria or yeast or parasites, and we want to use DNA PCR to really know if they're there and what abundance, because it's about quantity, because many of these things are there normally, such as H. pylori, but when it's overgrown in a certain quantity, this is when we want to take action, especially if we can use the DNA PCR testing to see if it's the type of H. pylori that is the more virulent, the more dangerous kind. So we really want to be aware of that, and we really want to test for that. And these really are some of the major contributors of aging. So if you get to hear this on the replay, or you're hearing this live and seeing it live, let me know how you feel in any of the comments, direct message or telephone, or check out the website here to make a discovery call. Everyone have a healthy, happy day. We're here to help at South Florida Integrative Health Center.